Been here a little bit over a year and have gone through several issues. It tells me how this place works. Never thought we'd come to the point where we've actually choked down the real economy with the valid effort to try to get rid of the disease. And the American public that's been caught in the crossfire already is suffering. The ones that early had to shutter their business, they were hoping that when they woke up today, they were going to see something. Now you can see that's not going to happen. Many others here have kind of gone after the other side, and I think that's a valid argument. What I'm going to talk about here this evening, two things. If we do not get something done, and done through unanimous consent, and we have to wait until Wednesday, we will all be held accountable, and we're going to do what this place normally does and doesn't work for the people that sent us here to do the business. Had a hotel owner in Indianapolis called me earlier in the week. Last week, 2% occupancy. The number of small businesses across the country, not only in Indiana, that have had to, employees leave, have had to shutter their business by government edict. The toll and the carnage is going to be great. I want to stress what we might get done, and I had 4 or 5 Democratic senators tell me this. I want to throw the gauntlet out and do it publicly. Obviously, a list like that does not make sense. And how you'd even bring that up at a time like this boggles my mind. 3 areas, 4 or 5 different Democratic senators said that if we come together on those 3 areas, they would have enough people to get it across the finish line, even through unanimous consent. Number 1, and I think most of the folks on my side of the aisle, shoring up what state and local governments need to effectively handle this crisis. That's Main Street. That sounds okay with me. Helping the frontline industry that's responsible for fighting the disease, hospitals and providers, and we're real close. We're not far away. And then the one that we hear the most about would be the transparency associated with what could be the most important part of the package, the Emergency Stabilization Fund that helps all those businesses that need liquidity to keep employees on their payroll. But I'm going to be for full transparency. The airlines and their practices of what they could do at the time that ate up all their cash, I think there needs to be accountability. Senator Manchin said earlier, needs stronger language to prohibit stock buybacks. Check. Most of us would be for that. To where Secretary Mnuchin cannot have full latitude on where to direct the funds. I'm a Main Street guy. I'd go for that too. Don't have enough restraints on the assistance in firing employees at a later time, as employers might do. Any of us that care about our employees would be for that as well. A couple other things. So I throw the gauntlet out to the leadership who I think trotted out a lot of this other stuff, confused the process, and now we are here to where we have to do it through unanimous consent. I feel good that our side comes along on 3 key areas: helping state and local governments, helping the front line of defense, hospitals, and holding the big companies accountable that are going to get the benefit of government assistance. And we need to keep in mind, this isn't 2008, where you're looking at bailing out and helping some of the people that caused the problem. Even these larger businesses have been impacted by government edict to flatten the curve. And what we got to make sure is we get this out the door so that in the process of flattening the curve, we do not flatten the economy. We owe it to every wage earner, to every small business, and to Americans in general. Let's take those three areas that many Democrats told me today, if we just get them trued up, we'll get it across the finish line. That's the gauntlet I throw at the leadership on the other side. Let's get it done. The American public expects us to. Yield the floor.